And I've been celibate for 2 years.
What?
I've been celibate for 2 years.
Where that come from?
I'm want to know, is that the reason why?
What's the philosophy here? You're not a virgin. You got two people came out of you. What's going on?
No, you did not. You're a woman, and I've been celibate for 2 years.
What?
I've been celibate for 2 years.
Where that come from?
I'm want to know, is that the reason why?
What's the philosophy here? You're not a virgin. You got two people came out of you. What's going on?
No, you did not.
Oh no, you did not have the nerve to bring vagina out here and close it up at 37 years old with two kids out here. So you meet a man, a good guy. You think you're gonna be celibate for what? What? Till you married?
Yes.
You got your goddamn mind. I wish I would meet a 37-year-old with two kids and think you don't. Shit. You're almost 40 years old with two kids. Talking about celibate? You need to be trying to get that shit away to secure a man.
Now hear this nonsense. This is a man telling a 37-year-old woman who decided to be celibate for 2 years. His justification is because she have already had two kids, so she has no right to be celibate. She better start giving it up if she wants to find a man to keep a man. But he missed the whole point. Because if giving it up will justify, if giving it up will what's the word I'm looking for? Yes, I was saying earlier, this Kevin man, it sounds like to me he's the one who actually needed help. He's the one who was broken, damaged, and hurt. Because his advice are coming from a place of a man who was broken, damaged, and hurt. Maybe in his young years as a teenager or young man growing up in high school or junior high school, maybe women did him wrong. And this is his way of paying back. Because none of his advice even makes sense. He wouldn't even give that advice to his own daughter if he loves them. Now he's telling her she must give it up. At 37 years, she have two kids, so she must give it up to find a man. But it's evident that giving it up does not guarantee you finding a man or keeping one, because she gave it up twice with two kids. Is he listening to? Did he listen to what you just said? She should have said, "Listen, sir, you tell me to give it up, but I gave it up, and it gave me two kids by two different men. What kind of advice? What kind of useless, foolish advice is this? You telling her to give it up, and she's already did in the past that brought her two kids by maybe two separate men or the same father. I don't know the whole story, but I would just assume whether she gave it up to two separate men or she gave it up to one man. She got two kids. But the fact that she wants to be celibate, he has an issue with that. You better give it up. Is he okay? Open up your legs to sleep with so many different men just to guarantee a relationship. But she did twice with two kids. It didn't guarantee a relationship. What makes you think going forward it will guarantee one, Mr. Kevin, sir? If you guys listen at this man's message with a sound mind, you can find the flaws in his messages, but you didn't listen. You listen with emotions and sentiment. That's why all the so-called men who are hailing him, listen properly. He's telling her to give it up, but she just said she gave it up and it gave her two kids. Then he telling her to go back and give it up. He's not making sense. That's number one. Number two, a young lady who probably has realized the errors of her ways. And she realized, they're sleeping around here and there. It has gotten me two kids. Let me take a break from dating. Let me get to know myself. Let me work on myself. Let me heal myself. Let me get myself together mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and sexually. Let me clean up my life and clean up my act. So when I decide to go back into the dating world, at least this time, I'm bringing something better to the package. I'm bringing something better to the table, and not a used up product that has slept here, there. You're not looking for a man. According to Kevin's advice, he said give it up to find a man. He said it. He's in his own words. So she have enough self-respect and dignity to take a break, to work on herself, to check herself. And now when she's ready to go back on the dating scene, a guy who wants to date her, and he finds out that yes, she may have made some mistakes in the past with two kids, but she loved her kids. She's a great mother, and she had kept herself for 2 or 3 years. What respectable man wouldn't be proud to want to marry somebody like that? Instead, Kevin is telling her, no, continue to open up your legs, end up with 2, 3 kids, and you come back on his show, you end up with 2, 3 kids. He's going to be the same one telling you, well, after you had 2, you didn't get married. Why you going to have 2 or 3 more? But yet he's telling her to give it up. Now, you men who are hailing him and say, yes, he's speaking the truth. You sit down on a date with a young lady that you find attractive, and she tells you, I've been celibate for 2, 3 years, and these are my past, and this is what I want to go forward. Would you feel happy to want to marry her, even engage in a relationship with her? Or would you prefer to hear a lady saying, yes, I just came out of a relationship 3 months ago, or within 12 months I've had 4 or 5 relationships because I'm taking Kevin's advice and I'm giving it up so I can find a man? Which one of those ladies sounds more marketable or acceptable? Which one of those women sound better like a wife material? This one that Kevin is tearing down because she's been celibate, or the one that took Kevin's advice to give it up and continue to give it up, and she ended up with several kids, or she ended up with STDs, sexually transmitted demons, or sexually transmitted disease? In a day and age like this, I can't even believe a man calls himself a relationship guru and is encouraging young women to go out and sleep around just to find a man. But sleeping around does not guarantee you finding a man or a good man. None of them does guarantee you keeping one, because her past already told you she already have 2 kids, possibly by 2 different men, and she decided to get her life right. Anybody who would do that, who would make that kind of advice, who would make that kind of decision for herself, I respect her. To me, she's a respectable, mature young woman. She even has more wisdom and dignity and respect for herself than Kevin does for himself and any of his followers that calls his show. Think about it. This young lady should be praised. She should be encouraged. Seriously, not teared down and ridiculed and mocked. You better give it up. You're almost 40. You are a used product. Well, then why should she continue to be used? So she's keeping herself so she don't be used. So any man who with dignity that come in her life will realize she been waiting for me. Hello, Mr. Kevin, sir. You are the one who really needed the help. I'm telling you, if you check his history, somewhere down the line, some woman did him wrong, or several women did him wrong. Because when men come out like this, they are angry actually at women. Same thing when women come out and hate men, some men hurt them somewhere. I'm not your feminist. I believe in some of the feminist value that came out in the 60s. I wasn't born then. But I agree with some of the advice. Some of the benefits of being the feminists of the women lib movement, which is allow women to go to college, to study what you want to study, to get a driver's license, to be able to vote, and to work in a career in a profession of your choice and be paid the same value as your male counterpart. Those values of women liberation and feminist movement I identify with and I agree with and I celebrate. Anything else beyond that, to tear down men, to be like men, to hate men, I don't identify with that. Apparently, there's 2 different generations of feminists. So don't categorize and put all of us in one pot. We are looking for respect and dignity for mankind. Whether you wear a pants or you don't, or you wear a skirt. That's all I care when it comes to respect and dignity. It's for all. Now, I'm addressing this particular video, and I'm really, really offended and disappointed. But if Kevin is not Kevin is not a man of dignity and respect and honor, because he would not ever. Why would you advise your daughter, if that was your daughter, to go sleep around? You better give it. What's the giving it up means? Sleep around. Why would you advise your own daughter to sleep around so she can get a man? But she did sleep around, and it ended up giving her 2 babies, and she still don't have the fathers of those 2 babies in her life. So apparently sleeping around does not guarantee you finding a husband, keeping one, or getting a good one, Kevin. Your advice does not make sense. If people only listen to your advice with some sound mind and logic, they will poke the holes in your advice and realize this is nonsense and foolishness. Or maybe he just did this. This is hype. This is just to blow up a platform and get some attention. Because in Hollywood or celebrity, don't they say any kind of publicity is better than none? And sometimes some bad publicity can give you what you want. Maybe that's all he wanted. But I believe there's more to it. He was hurt. Somewhere somebody hurt him. This young lady should be celebrated, appreciated, and encouraged. That yes, you kept yourself. Keep yourself, my sister. Keep yourself. The right man will show himself up, and he'll show himself worthy to marry somebody like you who kept yourself. That's the best thing anybody can do. With all these dating people sleeping around here and there, and somebody decide to stay, to keep to themselves, to say, no, I've done enough. I've slept around enough, and they've gotten me 2 babies, and none of the fathers I had the babies by decide to even find me worthy enough to marry me. So let me stay by myself. Let me work on myself. Let me keep myself. Let me heal myself. Let me mature myself. So when I get back out there in the dating scene, I will have some kind of discernment, some dignity, some self-respect, to know what I want and what I don't want, to know what I'm willing to tolerate and what not to tolerate, what I will put up with and what I won't put up with. To know when I see the right one, I will know he's the right one. Not to just go and open your legs left, right, and center because you're desperately looking for a man. Some people are some women, unfortunately, with the kind of advice will make some women, they are so desperate that they will go around and look for anyone and accept anyone that has a pulse. I repeat, sisters, do not allow your desperation. Sisters, do not allow your desperation to make you settle for anyone or anything just because they have a pulse. Or you're so desperate to get married that you will settle for anyone or anything that has a pulse. And the message that Kevin is giving is so wrong. And I didn't know him before his passing. But you see, you can't continue to dish out such insults, mockery, ridicule, dishonor, shame, and reproach at people. You can't dish that out, and then people expect, and then your followers expect people to honor you in your death when you did not honor anybody in your life. While you were alive, you didn't give any honor and respect to the living. But now the living must give honor and respect to you who is dead now. Do you understand? There's a balance. It's called sowing and reaping. All you sow in your life was complete, absolute mockery, ridicule, and insult. You insulted people. You insulted women. Now people are coming and saying what? Come on, you guys. Oh, and he's dead. Don't throw the dead man on the bus. Well, if he's already dead, then he won't get his feelings hurt if you threw him on the bus. Number one. Number two, a man that lived a life of disgrace, shame, and reproach, and mockery, and insults. That's all he did. How can you not say the man at the public must honor him when he didn't honor anybody? You must respect him in his death, but he didn't respect anybody in his life. Neither did he respect the living when he was part of the living. Are you with me? I'm sorry. But in another video I saw earlier, he kept saying they will die alone. They will die alone. They will die alone. You see? Did he not eat the fruit of his lips? Did he spend his last moment with beloved family members and friends? No, with an absolute total stranger in a hotel, not even his own bed, in a hotel room. This is a man continue to tell women, you will die alone, you will die alone, you will die. You see now, he ate the fruit of his own lips. He reaped what he sowed. So those of you who are hailing him as your hero, well, guess what? You're going to follow in your hero footsteps if you don't change. It's not about insulting people. You can love somebody and tell them the cold, hard truth, but with love, not with respect and disdain. And that's all he spewed out of his lips. And from what I heard, they say he don't even like black women. And that one of his business. He likes black women, he likes white women. I don't really care whether he likes black. Whether he liked, it's past tense. I need to get my languages correct. Anyway, this is Darkness. You're signing off. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing, subscribing, and inviting.
Woman, and I've been celibate for 2 years.
What?
I've been celibate for 2 years.
Where did that come from?
I'm want to know, is that the reason why?
What's the philosophy here? You're not a virgin. You got 2 people came out of you. What's going on?
Oh no, you did not.
Oh no, you did not have the nerve to bring vagina out here and close it up at 37 years old with 2 kids out here. So you meet a man, a good guy. You think you're gonna be celibate for what? What? Till you married?
Yes.
You got your goddamn mind. I wish I would meet a 37-year-old with 2 kids and think you don't shit. You're almost 40 years old with 2 kids talking about celibate. You need to be trying to get that shit away to secure a man.